friends, it's Amanda here, and today I want to show you a few eye looks with this new Huda Beauty palette, the Empowered palette. I do have a full review video with tons of swatches, comparisons, close-ups, all my thoughts. But I wanted to give a separate video to focus on some different eye looks because this palette has a lot going on, undertone-wise, texture-wise. I really wanted a chance to show off some of the different shadows in here. So in today's video, I'm going to show you two different eye looks using this Empowered palette. Of course, I'll show you this really simple smoky eye. I know doing smoky eyes can be really intimidating. I have been terrified by many a smoky eye look, so I'm gonna show you how I did this one. It was really easy. I think it turned out really nice. It's not too overwhelming. Sometimes a smoky eye can get away from you really quickly, so I wanna show you a pretty simple approach using this Empowered palette. When I look at this palette, I really see two separate 9-pan palettes. So this smoky look is done with the first half of this palette that's a little bit deeper, cooler toned, a little bit more vampy. Then I'll also show you a look focusing on the second half of the palette that has these more warm, toasty, orangey, sort of traditionally autumnal shades as well. There are two cream product pans in here. These can be used as either a cream eyeshadow, a deep eye base, or as an eyeliner. So you'll get to see these in action in both of those different capacities in today's tutorials. I really love both of the looks I'm gonna show you in today's video. So let's get to it. Let's get to the fun part and see these shadows in action. As usual, the first step I'm going to do is priming my eyes. I am still hooked on this ColourPop Party Proof primer. I have been using no other primers for many months now, ever since I got this one. So now that my eyes are primed, I'm going to go in with a transition shade. I'm using this one called Big Dreams. It's the perfect middle ground shade that I need in a lot of ways. It's not too cool toned, it's not too warm toned, and it's also not too light or too dark. I just need something really medium for this step because I like to start off light and then build up. That way the smoky eye look won't get away from me too quickly and become too dark or bruisey looking or just more over dramatic than what I'm looking for. I really want to do something that feels wearable and something that I could actually wear all day. And I'm not one for a really dramatic, dark, bold eye all day long. So I want to find something that's a nice balance, and the shade Big Dreams is the perfect starting point. Next, I'm going to build up a deep base. So I'm using this cream shade. It's the more purpley one called Worthy. I don't want to go in with the straight up black shade in here because I think that will be too harsh and it just won't suit the style that I'm looking for. So this deep eggplant purple is the perfect base. And then I'm using the shimmer shade Courageous on the majority of my lid. I ended up covering about the outer 2/3 of the lid with this Courageous shade, and then going back and just blending the edges a little bit. Then I used this sparkly sort of warm silver called Bold Moves. It looks more gold on the eye and more silver in the pan. And I put that on the inner third where I left that cream base blank, and then just blending all the shades together and making sure that the edges are really blended out so that it looks nice and diffused. But I don't want that shade to travel too far out in any direction. I really want to keep this look contained. I don't want it to be too bold and blown out, and I don't want it to be overly complex either. The more shades that I add, the more colors and layers that I throw in, the more likely this is to become too bold, a little bit too intense for what I'm looking for. That's also why I chose these purple shades, because it does give it a certain softness. And when you're doing a really deep, very vampy, smoky eye like this, if you choose colors like a purple, for example, or maybe a navy blue or a deep olive instead of a black or a gray, it does lend a certain softness to the look that, for me anyway, makes it feel a little bit more approachable, a little bit more wearable for daytime. Obviously, this would be a beautiful, vampy, night out type of look too. But this is the type of thing I feel like it has that sparkle, that softness that makes it wearable for the daytime. If you wanted to add some bold winged liner or some really bold lashes, you could definitely amp this up even more if that was what you were looking for. For me, this is just the right balance of sultry and softness that feels approachable. It still feels like my style, but it definitely feels a little extra special as well. Next, we're going to go to the more warm-toned look, of course, priming my eyes first with my beloved Party Proof primer. You don't have to set this primer, but you can if you want to do just a little swipe of translucent powder on top to make it a little bit less sticky if you have trouble getting a nice blend. These shadows are just so soft and velvety that they blend beautifully whether you set that primer or not. Now I'm using a mixture of the shades Get It and Best Self so that I get a really bright peachy transition shade there in the crease of my eye. And I'm just making sure that I blend this out really well, because once I start layering in my colors and my shimmers, I'm going to be doing some more precise placements. So I'm spending a little extra time blending the crease area here so that I don't have to go back and try to fix any mistakes later. I'm also adding a little bit of that shadow combo to the lower lash line as well. Next, I'm going to start mapping out my darker parts of my eye for this spotlight eye look that I'm doing. I'm using this deep reddish orange shade called Legacy. I'm really packing that shadow on, and these shadows are so pigmented that it really doesn't take a lot to get these to full opacity, but you do have to be a little bit careful with the placement here because this is a more precision look compared to the smoky eye look that I did in the previous tutorial, which wasn't quite as precise. So I'm adding this darker shadow to the outer part of the lid and also to a small section on the inner part of my lid. And this is sort of contouring the eye and also carving out a little space for the spotlight there in the center. First, I just used this coppery shade called Do It. I applied that with my finger and it wiped on so easily. It gave a beautiful shine to the lid. And if you wanted to just leave it here, you absolutely could. This is a nice, simple, toasty, warm eye look. And at first I considered just leaving this look as is, but I did go back and just do a little bit of touching up to make those deeper areas really, really bold and dark and just a little bit more opaque so you could see the contrast with that shimmer shade in the middle. Then I wanted to use this shade Worthy, one of the cream shades, as an eyeliner. So I'm just using a little teeny tiny brush, a little liner brush from MAC, to apply that along the upper eyelid for a subtle liner look. This definitely makes the lashes look fuller once they're curled and have mascara applied. Then I needed just a little bit more of a kick, so I took the shade Charisma. This is a really shimmery metallic gold shade, and just barely tapped a little bit of that on the center of the lid before I curled my lashes and added some Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. This little tap of gold in the center really just brought out a whole nother depth to this look. It looks so shifty. It almost seems like a duochrome sometimes, but it's just the way that these shades are layered and combined. This look is so pretty. It's such a fall-tastic, cozy autumnal feel. I wore this exact look in my September favorites video, and I have been really, really loving it. This won't be the last time that I wear this exact look for some cozy fall glam. If you want more information about this palette, make sure you go check out my previous review video so you can go a lot more in depth into the different textures. You can see brush swatches, lots of good comparisons in that one too. But I have to say, I absolutely love both of the eye looks that I did for this tutorial video. They were both super simple technique-wise, but they definitely just feel special on the eyes. The wear time has been incredible. A few people have asked over on Instagram if the cream shadows get really creasy and crinkly if I use them as a base. They definitely have not cracked on me at all. I've been wearing this eye look for a few hours now, and everything looks exactly like it did when I applied it. As far as the quality, textures, formulas, ease of use, just everything about this is beautiful, interesting, accessible. This is a lovely, interesting neutral palette. I can see myself reaching for this and doing different versions of these looks all year round, and I just think it's a great staple product. I'm really enjoying it. I would love to hear what you think about this palette. Which one of these eye looks was your favorite? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Okay, hold on, I need a little bit more lip gloss. When in doubt, just add a little bit more lip gloss, especially if it is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade Stone. Love this one. This one and Heat are my top two favorites. This isn't a video about lip gloss. These are from my Etsy shop. If they sell out, I'll make more. I think I have a few more of these acrylic moon charm things, so I think I can make some more. I'll try my best. Go check out my Etsy shop. I have so much cute fall and Halloween stuff, and it's time. It's time for spooky season. Go get your spooky season jewels. It's time for spooky season jewels. You know what? Wear spooky season jewels year round if you want to. I'm not here to judge you. Do you know how many Hello Kitty Halloween mugs I have? 3. Do I use them year round? Obviously. The eyeshadow, nail polish matching is just, it's on point today. My dog's making a weird noise in the other room. I better go check on her. All right, that was it. I hope that was fun. A lot of people say that they want to see more eye looks, but these videos never, ever come close to performing as well as watch and review videos. But you know what? It's fun, so we're still gonna throw in a few here and there. I had fun making it. I hope you had fun watching it. I'm just glad you're here. I appreciate you and I love your face. And I'm gonna see you real soon in my next video. Thanks for hanging out. You're cool. Okay, bye.